My name is Wim Halikaib. I am not yet a Muslim. And my question is, why is Allah the only correct thing to fill your heart with? Did you get that? Just enunciate just once again. Why is Allah the only correct thing to fill your heart with?
Oh, why is Allah the only correct thing to fill your heart with? The remembrance of Allah. Thank you very much, my brother.
Okay. That's a very profound question. And the only answer I can really give you is that's the nature that God gave to the heart. Yeah? So it's not something, you see, I suppose understanding this answer I have given goes back to something very important. And it's a whole nother question. And the whole nother question is, how do we know something is true? How do we know Islam is true? I mean, all the talk I have given is based upon the assumption that what the Quran teaches is from God. But I think you probably agree with me, just from the point of view of logic, just from logic, that if there is a God, if the universe has a creator and there is a God, this all-seeing, all-knowing creator of everything, yes? Then if God did give us some guidance, then the most logical and rational thing for a human being to do, a limited, finite, small human being, the most logical thing to do is follow this guidance. But the most important question then is, how do we know this guidance is from God? How can we know that what I am saying or what anyone is saying is really from God? So for Muslims, they should ask the question, okay, Abdurrahim, that's my name, yeah? Okay, Abdurrahim, that's a very nice talk, but is this really what Islam is teaching? Yeah? Perhaps for you the more important question is, even if all of what I say sounds nice, how do I even know that Islam is true anyway? Because everything's based upon that presumption. Everything I'm saying is based upon that Islam is true. Although I think some things I have said, they are true whether you believe in Islam or not. Yeah? I think generally what I said about the heart and the junk food for the heart is true whether you believe in Islam or not. I think anyone could understand that many of the things we human beings do, trying to get respect, for example, it doesn't really give peace and satisfaction to the heart. Yeah? Okay? So, how can we know that Islam is true? This is a very important question. And I would simply break it down to three main components. Number one, what does the Quran teach about God? This is the first one. Okay? Very simply, the Quran teaches us that this universe has a creator, and this creator is one and unique. The creator is not like the creation, and nothing in the creation is similar to the creator. Yeah? So this is a very important concept, that God or the creator is not a human being, he is not like a human being, and no human being is like God. In fact, nothing in the universe is similar to God, and God is not like anything in the universe. This concept alone is a very rational, easy to understand concept. So, for example, if I said to you that this this iPad that I've got here, yeah, okay, I was walking along one day, yeah, in the fjords of wherever you go, yeah, and there on the rock I found this iPad. And then I said, this iPad was a product of millions and millions of years of random events. You see, in the rock there is some iron, and there is some sand, and there is some oil, and so the wind blew, and the lightning struck, and the sun shone, and the insects crawled, yeah, and the sheep, kicked the thing, and after all of these things, and the wind blew, yeah, and so after so many millions and millions of years, this iPad formed itself by coincidence. Is this believable? No. Because we see here order. We see something working according to a system. Whether it's man-made or not is not important. The point is that there is order and system in this thing. And the same thing when we look at the universe. We see there is order. We see there is systems in the universe. Isn't it rational to conclude that also the universe must have a creator? Just as this iPad, someone or something, some intelligence must have made this. Isn't it logical to conclude that the universe also should have something, some intelligence behind it? Or is it just a random event, just happened? No, the universe is more complex than this. This is simple. This is simple compared to the complexity of the universe. The universe is more complex. Yeah? So this is why there was a famous atheist, his name was Anthony Flew. He used to be an atheist. Before he died, he wrote a book. The book is called There Is No God. Then he crossed out the no. There is a God. And he explained why he gave up atheism and he believed that there was a God. And the reason is because he said now science has uncovered the huge complexity of the universe. To claim that this is a random event is ridiculous. He said it is much more rational to believe that this organized, systemized universe has a creator. But as he points out in his book, this creator can't be the same as the universe. Because that's like saying the creation created itself. It's like saying, for example, this created itself. That doesn't make sense. So it's rational to believe the creator must be different from the creation. This is exactly what we find the Quran teaches about God. And I would say that this is almost unique in religions in the world. Although Christianity has a similar concept of God, Christianity confuses this by saying that Jesus is God. He is a man who ate food, he breathed air. He's a limited, finite being. This doesn't make sense. How can something be infinite and finite, created and not created at the same time? It is not rational. So the first thing I would say is that the teaching about God in the Quran is very rational. The second thing I would say is if you look and read the Quran, one of the things that will amaze you is the Quran does not read like a book written 1,400 years ago. And I say this in respect to the descriptions in the Quran of the natural world. Yeah? For example, how would a book 1,400 years old, or how would anyone 1,400 years ago in history know that the mountains have roots? How would someone know this information? That the mountains have roots. In fact, it mentions like a tent, the peg of the tent. It describes like roots like the peg of the tent, meaning it goes down into the earth. From where does this knowledge come from 1,400 years ago? How would a book 1,000 or anyone living 1,400 years ago know about the common origin of the universe? You know that now pretty much science has agreed that the whole universe was one piece, a singularity they call it, the singularity, and from this came the Big Bang. Yes? Yet the Quran 1,400 years ago, the Quran is saying, have not the unbelievers seen that the heavens and the earth were joined together as one piece? Then we rent them asunder. It means we made them apart. And we created from water every living thing. Will they not believe? You see, when you read the Quran, you will think, how could someone living 1,400 years ago have this type of knowledge? This gives certainty to the heart. This is very important. Because in order for your heart to find peace, in order to answer these very important questions, what is the meaning of life? Why am I here? What happens to me when I die? Why is there so much suffering in the world? So many questions we have about our life. We need something to give us certainty. If we don't feel certain, our heart will not be at rest. Or we'll be questioning this and questioning. The Quran gives certainty. You have very good reasons to believe the Quran is from God. Very good reasons to believe the Quran is from God. Find me something else that gives such good convincing reasons to believe it is from God. Yeah? So this is the basis. Do you understand what I'm saying? The basis is there is one God. The basis is the Quran, and that's why I said to you, even you should read the Quran and think about it deeply. Because I think when you do, you will find very good reasons to believe that it is from the Creator alone. Yeah? This is my answer.